A train pulls into Bloomington-Normal today, bringing with it an interactive theater experience for kids. It's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Tuesday, June 4th. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with more on the death of Unit 5 teacher Amy Moore from Normal, who police say was killed by her ex-husband just a week after final papers were filed in their divorce. WGLT's Charlie Schlenker spoke to a local advocate to help guide public discourse about what happened.
First thing here, this is how to get help. The Countering Domestic Violence Program hotline is 309-827-7070 at Mid-Central Community Action in Bloomington. Sergio Ponce is a senior court advocate with the program. Ponce says there are certain riskier times for women trying to break ties with their abusers.
Anytime any kind of control is taken away from the abuser can be a point of extreme danger. So getting an order of protection, filing for divorce, the finalization of a divorce, those are all times when they should be extra vigilant.
The Moore divorce case file showed a lot of Matthew's terrible behavior. Harassment, blustering, threatening, gaslighting. Less of physical maltreatment of Amy by Matthew. Ponce says such scenarios may mislead people into saying, well, it's not really abuse because she wasn't hurt.
Which is not the case. There's emotional abuse, there's mental abuse, there's financial abuse. There's all different types of ways to abuse somebody that is not necessarily physical.
And the lack of physical signs may obscure a very real danger.
If you hear, say, a neighbor in a loud argument that sounds like it could be dangerous, it should probably be reported. The person that may be being abused might not have the resources or the state of mind to report it themselves.
Again, the Countering Domestic Violence hotline to get help is 309-827-7070. For The Leadoff, I'm Charlie Schlenker.
Here's some other stories we're following at the WGLT newsroom. The town of Normal will use a nearly $250,000 grant to make walking to Chittix Junior High School safer. That grant will create several new paths and access to a pedestrian bridge on Karen Drive. Authorities have identified the woman from Normal who was killed in a crash Friday in East Peoria. It was 32-year-old Lauren Martin. She was a mother, foster parent, and the part owner of restaurants in Clinton. And the Common Ground grocery store in downtown Bloomington is closing for good by the end of the month. A Facebook post from the owner says expenses keep going up, but sales are not keeping pace. The store has been open since 1977. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. It's summertime, which means that parents and caregivers are on the hunt for ways to keep their kids engaged and entertained, and an exciting opportunity is steaming into Illinois Art Station today. The Conductors is a free outdoor theater experience for kids 6 and under. It's a collaboration between the Connecting Roots Project, a touring theater group that travels by rail, and a theater company called Kerfuffle. WGLT correspondent Sarah Nardi spoke with director Ashley Laverty and Connecting Roots founding director Josh Bernaski. Bernaski explains how trains became such a central part of his artistic mission.
I wanted to bring attention to the incredible resource that trains are for our country, and how traveling by train is, one, a cleaner way of transportation, and it connects us with communities both big and small. I was also inspired by the classic American theater programs, back when vaudeville artists used to travel by train to communities across the country. Also, touring by train is just fun. It's a fun challenge, and it's a different way to connect with the country. And with Chicago being such a historic train hub, when I looked at a map and saw everywhere that we could go on the Amtrak railway network with our incredible theater community here in Chicago, I thought, why not?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Ashley, working with children and the theater, what are some of the challenges in keeping little bottoms in seats?
Well, with Kerfuffle's Theater for the Very Young, oftentimes we are coming into non-traditional theater spaces. So it's really important to Kerfuffle that if you're creating a piece of theater for a 3-year-old, that you're meeting the 3-year-old where they're at.
Which is not their seat.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So there's no expectation. We don't go into like traditional theater spaces and set up on a stage and have everyone sit in a chair and have the lights off. The Conductors in particular was created during the pandemic. It was intentionally created for outside. So then even more so that, young people can be themselves and we don't have to worry about quote unquote disturbing other audience members because it's not about that. It's just about meeting the children where they're at and creating a child-centric experience. We're theater for the very young, but it's really important to us that it's an engaging piece for everybody. So it's for the caregiver and the young person to have the experience together. And adults tell us at least, like they also really like the shows.
I think that's important. I think art in general has done a really good job with that lately in understanding that there is a parent somewhere in the background enduring what's going on. So if it can work on two levels.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of response do you get from kids? Are they surprised to be invited to interact? I feel like so much of when we're minding children, so much unfortunately is telling them what they can't do and holding them back and giving them limits. What's their reaction when they understand that they're very much a part of what's going on?
That's a really good question. I feel like generally children are so excited and they want to participate and they want to like have that one-on-one engagement. So they're so willing to go there. And oftentimes it is the grown-up that is like, oh, is this okay? Or it's the grown-ups that are shushing because of what we as society think, theater is or could be or should be. And so I'm there and our, kerfuffle and with this partnership with Connecting Roots Project, we're there on the admin side of things to kind of say like, hey, it's okay. We're a shush-free zone. You can engage however you want. And sometimes that also might mean leaving or standing in the back, and that's okay too. But I do think that usually young people are really excited to go there. And we do take some steps to ensure that the children feel comfortable. So we always have a pre-show experience and a post-show experience, and that's what happens with the conductors. Our pre-show experience is everyone gets a train ticket, and they are invited to color anywhere. If they could travel anywhere in the entire universe on a magical train, where would you go and why? And so we have our tickets, and you spend before the quote unquote show begins doing that. Those train tickets then, of course, serve as your ticket to get onto the magical train, and the conductors hole punch them before the play starts.
Oh, I love that. So there's this whole concept of continuity for them to like a little before and after, the carry through. Josh,
Exactly.
do you hope that this helps maybe inspire some curiosity or some interest in trains for our next generation?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were very excited in this partnership with Kerfuffle to create this show to celebrate train travel and celebrate everywhere a train can connect you and who it can connect you with. So yeah, we're excited, and I'm thrilled that the Connecting Roots Project's first inaugural show was a show for children 6 and under, for our youngest possible audiences, to introduce them to theater and hopefully cultivate a love for theater as they continue to grow up.
So you're doing this at Illinois Art Station. How did that partnership come about?
Yeah, so actually, last year, some puppeteer friends of mine, we all went down to the program Illinois Art Station offered, Sunny Days, with Leslie Correa Rudolph from Sesame Street. And so that was my first introduction to Illinois Art Station and to Bloomington-Normal, and was blown away by the program and everything I had learned about Illinois Art Station. And then I started walking around town and saw that there was an Amtrak station, and my brain started ticking, and I left that day super inspired. So Hannah Johnson from Illinois Art Station has been incredible in collaborating with us to facilitate this event on June 4th. So we'll be doing, yeah, 2 performances, 10 a.m. outdoors at Connie Link Amphitheater with the Town of Normal's Terrific Tuesdays program. And then we will be doing a second show indoors at Bloomington Public Library. And in between, we'll be hosting a free creative drama workshop at Illinois Art Station at their ITSY studio that Ashley here will be facilitating for children 6 and under and their grown-ups. And Illinois Art Station has just been the perfect partner. I can't say that enough in bringing us down to Bloomington-Normal.
That was Josh Bernaski of the Connecting Roots Project and Ashley Laverty of Kerfuffle. They spoke with correspondent Sarah Nardi about the conductors. The interactive performances and workshops for kids 6 and under are taking place today. You can find more info at WGLT.org. Before we let you go, the McLean County Board's Justice Committee meets today at 4:30 at the Government Center. On the agenda there are various stats and caseload reports from those working around the courthouse. That's it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. You can subscribe to the Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you listen.